Hello, my beautiful Tauruses. Welcome back to Queen Cup Tarot. I am just shuffling up right now, getting ready to do your October 2019 tarot readings. For those that are new, welcome. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. It's much appreciated. And for those that are returning, thank you for all your likes, shares, subscribes, positively engaging this platform the way you do, and then going over and above to send me all your love, light, healing energy. You guys are really the bomb.com. So thank you. I appreciate you. And as I say always, it's a privilege and honor to be able to connect and read for you guys, whether it's on the generals, the personals, it no matter. For those that do want to book personal readings with me, that's cool. The details are below. Just please keep in mind that I only offer live readings, no pre-recordeds. You can record the live session. I do them either via Skype, WhatsApp, or regular phone. But I won't pre-record the message and send it to you. I'm also not an astrologer, so I don't need birthdays and things like that. The format of the reading is exactly like how you see here online, whether it's a half hour or an hour reading. It's obviously just specific to you, okay? So just keep that in mind. If you do want to book, just email me and I'll send you my upcoming availability, okay? For those that timestamp the reading prior to the prayer, thank you. Please continue to do so. For those that make sure people timestamp prior to the prayer, thank you. I appreciate you guys too. You guys are adorable. And like you guys are like policing the comments. You guys are the best. But for those that are new, I don't mind timestamping. You guys can timestamp the shit out of the reading. Let's just please acknowledge that this reading starts when the prayer does. That's all I ask, okay? What else? I think that's it, Taurus. I think I'm ready to get into prayer and get into your reading here. Things are picking up for the collective, just speaking from the readings I've done, even on the personals. Things are picking up. People are now taking action because they're more sure, because they've done the self-reflection and the inner work to be more sure and confident about the actions that they take. All right? Because I'm a huge believer that once, because I've been getting a lot of King of Wands energy, and I just believe once the King of Wands takes action, there's nothing that will stop him or her. Ideally, if you want to stop the King of Wands from taking action, you got to get him before he gets up and goes, or else there ain't going to be anything stopping him. Very Emperor energy. So a lot of you are stepping into your masculine energy, which is that conquering energy, that protective, marking, territorial energy, protective, providing type energy, right? The conqueror, essentially. A lot of you are finally ready to take action to conquer certain areas of your life, or conquer, I don't know why that was hard to word. I guess I'll get the clarity throughout the reading to say that better. All right, let's get into prayer, guys, and get into your spread. All right. Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, guardian angels, thank you for rising me up out of my bed this morning, and thank you for connecting me with the collective every day. Right now in particular, thank you for connecting me with the collective sign of Taurus. Please allow me to communicate clearly to them the messages that are in their greatest good, surrounding their material abundance, sustenance, the relationships closest to them, their personal ascension and development, and any other messages that you deem worthy at this time. Thank you, Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, guardian angels, for everything you do for me and the collective. All the healing energy, the support, the love, the guidance, the protection. We're nothing without it, and we are nothing without you. So thank you, Father God, and amen. Some of you Tauruses are regretting taking the path of most resistance. Some of you have uncovered, because with the Chariot and the Two of Wands, the Chariot, the Two of Wands, and then we saw the Two of Cups too. Some of you are taking that King of Wands energy to embark in a new path. Now, that's all great. You know, we're all trying to embark in our new timelines and our new paths and stuff. But with the Chariot energy, there is this sense of whatever's in the way is going to get stomped out, right? Like think of somebody on a carriage with two horses, like, you know, plowing through a path or a road. Whoever's walking, pedestrians, like people have to get out of the way when the Chariot decides to start moving forward, right? And if that Chariot does decide to stop, there is a certain period of time that it will take for that Chariot to actually come to a full, complete stop. So there is a sense, Taurus, where you are going to need to be cognizant of what's on the road in front of you, because you can damage, destroy things when you are in the Chariot, if that makes sense. All right. You don't want to come to a stop and then somebody come and tell you that you destroyed something, or that you stomped over something, or that you hurt someone. Right. So Taurus, just be really mindful that as you are confidently and victoriously moving forward into your new timeline, you know, new relationships, new careers, that you're cognizant of the people around you and how it affects them. Because I do believe people are going to look at you like, oh my gosh, like you stompled over me, or you know, there's this sense of, oh my gosh, like get out of the way, you know. And that's what I'm getting from you, Taurus. But then I'm getting, like, I'm seeing the reverse of that. Somebody on the road saying, Taurus, stop. And Taurus going, get the fuck out of the way. So there is a bit of a, if this person doesn't get out of the way or you don't stop, Taurus, there's going to be a problem, right? So I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that's, I'm seeing this whole scene of like this horse carriage and like this person or people, and they're trying to get you to stop, and you're trying to say, are you dumb? Like, come out of the road. I don't know how that's going to fare out, because that's as far as the vision went. Like, I don't know. I don't know if you stop, Taurus, or if they get out of the way. I don't know how that works. Yeah, it's like they're in the middle of the road. So just be very careful, Taurus, about how it is you're proceeding forward. All right, so that's the only message I'm getting there in the little pre-shuffle here. And I'm also gathering, Taurus, that you need to be careful about how quickly you pass opportunity up, meaning how quickly you determine something's value for something's importance for you to invest in. Because the Seven of Pentacles speaks to patience, it speaks to investments, it speaks to tending your garden in hopes that you'll reap one day. I'm getting the impression that you're on this Chariot, you're picking up speed, momentum, you're feeling more confident, more action oriented. There's this idea of needing to be cognizant of, don't be the horses with the blinder, right? You do need to see what, even if you're moving really fast, you do need to look around, because there might be things that want to prompt you to slow down. You might want to, you know, reap things along your journey, right? And if you're moving at that speed, you might destroy the things you're supposed to reap on your journey. You might pass the things you're supposed to reap on your journey. So if you're getting from point A to B, right? A is your old timeline, B is your new timeline. There is a lot to acquire on the journey between A and B. Skill, knowledge, resources, miracles, presents, goodies, the whole nine. So I don't know, this could be a warning for it to come, you know, and if you are experiencing stagnation, you might be thinking, no, I won't. I won't pass what's for me. Yeah, there's the Ten of Pentacles. This is point B. A lot of you are charging forward to your Ten of Pentacles because through your purging, ascension, and development, this became clear. This started to pixelate. This started to come into form for you. And the more it came into the form, the faster you were charging towards it. There are very valuable things that you need at your Ten of Pentacles to further develop your Ten of Pentacles that you gather on the way there. But if you're fucking boom, You might destroy some of the things you need here and get to this point and end up having to go back on old timelines to get those lessons, appreciate those resources, reacquire them, and bring them back. So there's a need to be really cognizant of your surroundings, all the blessings, not just the blessings that are most important, all the blessings, and then the sub blessings, and then the gratitude for it all, because that's what the 10 of Pentacles is. And that's why this is so long lasting. You don't need to learn to be grateful for it. The blood, sweat, and tears used to create this brings automatic gratitude for life. The gratitude is then inside of you, right? Oozing out. Anyways, first card out, 10 minutes in, your first card out is the 9 of Pentacles. Somebody had this as the first card. I use, because I'm using different decks for all of you guys. One of the readings, this was the first card. Yeah, no. Because I didn't cut the deck, that's why. But you guys should look at, I don't remember. It's the one we use the wild unknown for. One of the air signs, possibly. Anyway, all right, okay. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. With the 9 of Pentacles showing up and the 10 of Pentacles, you guys are very close to getting, there's this sense of clarity about where it is you're trying to go. You're very close in the sense of the reality of it, right? It is reality. So now you're more action oriented. You're more clear about what it is you want to move forward with and who and all these kind of things. But there is a need to be present. I'm getting the sense of you not seeing something or missing something because you're just plummeting towards something. And I'm getting the impression what you miss is something you need for where you're trying to go. If that makes any sense. Like if you're trying to, you know, be rich and you want big money and you're on your journey, you're on the way there, you see opportunity, you say, I know how I can make that money. I've unlocked this abundance in myself, and you're plummeting on the way there. Meanwhile, there's 2 or 3 people you are supposed to acquire in order to really, truly maximize and compound the abundance that you unlocked in yourself for it to grow beyond your wildest dreams. But you were not cognizant. You just tunnel visioned on that money. You tunnel visioned on that abundance and everything it would get you. But you didn't really listen to God telling you on the way there, you're going to need that. You're going to need 2 of those. You're going to need 1 of those. You're going to need a stack of that. That's the energy I'm getting. Okay. All right. My beautiful Tauruses, for the month of October, the 2 of Swords. Some of you are so hurt still about certain things that you are purposely plowing through, and you don't care who you're going to stomp out. You don't care who the collateral damage is. I'm hearing Taurus say, get out of the way. And if not, that's your problem. Be careful with that, Taurus. Be careful. I know why you feel that way. You need to temper that anger, resentment out, because you don't want collateral damage. It will take the shine, the zest, and the excitement off of whatever it is you are plummeting forward towards. There is a need for you to preserve the manifestation, preserve the wish fulfillment by being cognizant of all the steps that lead up to it and respecting the process, essentially. Some of you are deciding you don't give a fuck about the process. There is this almost purposeful ignorance, which is usually due to some kind of pain, because essentially the 2 of Swords is crossing the heart. Somebody is shut down. Somebody doesn't want to see. These are purposeful, blinders. I don't want to see because I don't care. Some of you Tauruses are in that energy. And I think this clarity and excitement is getting you out of that energy, but you have to abandon that resentment. Allow yourself to just feel victorious and happy about where it is you're going, knowing that you do not want any collateral damage. You do not want your success to be at the expense of anybody else around you. No one should have to suffer for you to win. No one should have to die and get trampled out for you to win. There's a better way. And if you are not awakened enough to figure it out, that's the problem right there. Anyway, Ace of Cups. Some of you came into, some of you are in the beginning stages of love. All right. Starting a family, whatever relationship. Your approach to the other people in your life, your friends, it's very harsh. There's a sense of you being willing to abandon certain relationships because of what you just brought into yourself or where it is you're going. It's almost like if I am going to fight for this love, I'm going to cut everyone off. I am going to plow through whoever I have to. There's this sense of destruction and not caring about the damage caused in the pursuit of. And it could be love. Someone, Taurus, could be coming towards you and not give a fuck about who you're with. And that seems all cool and romantic and sexy. That could be a real fucking problem. And it could be a problem like that. Be careful. Right? But this could also be you needing to be careful at what cost. Right? What is the cost? Because there could be minimal cost. But some of you are assuming the worst. I don't know. Anyways, Ace of Cups, that's new love. That is a focus on self-love, which obviously would manifest in, the exterior love matching your vibration and being offered to you. But that's really cool. This could literally just be indecision about whether or not you want to accept this cup or give this cup to anybody. All right. Some of you, this is indecision about knowing what value this cup has in a relationship. Because maybe you always thought your coin was the value in the relationship or the service you provided or, the function that you held when really, there's deeper meaning. Anyway, the Tower, wow. Some of you are going to be shocked by the connection that bursts into your life. Some of you are a bit shocked at how somebody's been able to tap into your heart chakra, right? And it has you a little bit closed off just because you're vulnerable without the choice of being vulnerable. Like for some of you Tauruses, you didn't choose to be vulnerable in love. The way it kind of bursted in and this person's personality and the way their genuine approach to expressing love, it kind of forced you, to be vulnerable. And when you're forced to be vulnerable, you're more likely to shut down than if it's a willingness to be vulnerable, because then you're being vulnerable on your own terms. It looks like, Taurus, some of you are going to be forced to be vulnerable and it's not on your terms. Third card out, Three of Swords. Wow. For some of you, and I'm getting this was maybe 3 months ago, you started a relationship that's ended very, very abruptly and painfully. Okay? Do not shut down. There was a lesson there, and you need to be grateful that it ended quick. Okay? Because some people go through this year after year. It's a decade-long situation. For some of you, though, I think this happened relatively quickly. Some of you are just dealing with the residual disappointment of somebody you thought maybe finally I found someone I'm excited about or that I connect to, and it went to shit, and you're just dealing with the residual of that. The Fool, yeah, some of you took a leap of faith in a relationship and it didn't work out really quickly. You need to identify what got you to leap off of this branch, because for the universe to show you so quickly it didn't work out, that means there were signs. There were signs that you overlooked because you wanted this so bad. I'm telling you guys, if you have your cup of love in tow, you're not so thirsty. Meanwhile, you're not going to risk your life for a sip of a little bit of love. Right? You're going to take time. You're going to make this be presented to you like you've presented your love to people in the past, right? But it looks like some of you got, honestly and truly in this ascension process, you are going to have these. They're almost like involuntary, the way you stepped into some of these relationships. They were part of the ascension process. They were not supposed to be long. These were quick lessons. Yep, you got that. Let's move on next. And your codependency is going to be challenged because you can't even hold on to this shit. It all happened so fast or fucked up or whatever. They were quick lessons. Yeah, they're painful, but I'm telling you, there's people who go through this shit over the course of years. In the middle of your spread, the Four of Cups, I think some of you are because of this, are going to kind of ignore someone asking you to take a leap of faith on them because you're still grieving essentially your past timeline. Some of you are actually going to reject a love offer because you are still fucked up from some shit that happened maybe not too long ago. You're going to totally reject this person. And we don't have to talk about it long because if this is this person, they will be back or you will. Period. Right? Sixth card out. There it is, the Nine of Pentacles again under the Nine of Swords. Some of you are saying to yourself, am I going to be single forever? Some of you don't understand why the relationships you're in end up like this. It's not that they don't end up well, it's the nature of how they end up. There's this certain level of particular darkness and heaviness that causes extreme heartbreak, and then grief. It's a difference to be heartbroken, then you grieve, okay? It's the nature of how these relationships end that have some Tauruses really shutting down, but that's good because with the Nine of Pentacles, the divine's been trying to get you to shut down and focus on the abundance in yourself so that you are looking for everything you're looking for externally, you see in yourself, right? Which then gets you to, then you're not risking your life for love. You're not risking your heart for love. You're not risking your entire bank account. You're not risking your sex. You're not risking yourself for love because you're not trying to desperately seek it out of other people because you have gone without offering that love and support to yourself. So the divine purposely brought certain relations in to bring you to this breaking point. A breaking point you've been ignoring with the Four of Cups. The divine tried to show you this before and you weren't hearing it. There were signs. You ignored them. You were so thirsty. The divine was trying to tell you you have an infinite amount of alkaline water that lives directly inside you. It's like you're looking for a place that sells water. Meanwhile, you have a clean freshwater spring in your backyard. It doesn't make no sense. You're letting other people drag you around because you think you desperately need water and they're the provider. Meanwhile, if you looked in and tended your own backyard, you'd find a whole fucking spring that you can wash clothes, cook, bathe, the whole fixin', the whole nine. All right. Seventh card out, the Hangman. That's your energy, Taurus. I've been seeing it pop out the whole time. For some of you, you're actually going to take a leap of faith on the person that you rejected. So for some of you, maybe this person didn't know that you went through this so recently, right? I don't know how available, I don't know how this offer comes about, but I just know that some of you Tauruses reject it and you actually gain the perspective you need because of how you feel about the decision you made. And I think some of you Tauruses actually go, once you kind of solidify and feel comfortable in this Nine of Pentacles energy, you go back, you take a leap of faith to go back to the person with a different perspective. You have a different perspective about what was offered to you in the past, and you want to take a leap of faith to go and communicate that to somebody. look, I realize, you know, the hesitation was mine, or I realized that when we met, I wasn't in a good space, or, you know, blah, blah, blah. I actually didn't really let go or heal from blah, 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 blah. Like, this is all about you, okay? Like I said, you're plowing forward to your stability, your independence, your abundance, but you're missing things. Like, you passed this. Some of you passed this. Somebody was offering you genuine love and you passed that shit. You passed the pain and you just beelined it to the coin, your independence, blah, blah, blah. Some of you are going to go back. Some of you will go back. The Mother of Pentacles. Wow. And then the last card out. Some of you go back. Absolutely. Some of you go back to get a chance to build the foundation that was once presented to you that you rejected because you didn't see the potential, but it was the pain and the darkness that you've lived out in past timelines that didn't allow you to see the potential of this. So essentially, I don't know if you destroyed this. I don't know if you just passed it. I don't know the state. There's a possibility that you really hurt this person, Taurus, if you breezed past them, and this will resonate. You'll already know, and you'll be like, "Oh my God, I gotta handle it." Like this will already dawn on you. You shouldn't be thinking, "Did I?" Like, your instinct should tell you. But I do see that somebody is cognizant that they passed something, destroyed something, did not appreciate something, did not see the value of something, and they essentially go back to because the pentacle on top of the Mother of Pentacles and this 9 equals 10. So it's going back, realizing it's like if you thought, Taurus, you were beelining it to the 10 of Pentacles, you were only beelining it to the 9 of Pentacles. And then you get here and you realize you left something back there. There was something that you didn't think was important, that you didn't learn the value of, that you need to go back and fetch. And you do. Or, Taurus, you are that person that was left and somebody wants to come back and fetch you. And if that's the case, you've gained a certain level of independence and abundance that this will definitely be a risk. You're going to have to take time to think about that because you are not the same man or woman left on the side of the road. So if this person comes back to you, they're not catching you where you were. They got to go find where you're at. And don't worry about that, Taurus. If they ask around, they'll find you. Making moves, yeah, making moves. All right, let's go into clarification though. Really, really beautiful spread, guys. There was a lot of people taking a lot of action without having done the healing, the awakening, you know? And then the people who were doing the healing and awakening, they weren't moving. They were building up momentum before they crashed into the shore. There is a shift. The people who were moving without having the fucking sense to be moving are going to have to slow down. They're going to have to come to a screeching halt. And the people who were healing, developing, doing the internal work. And listen, guys, that internal work looks different for everybody. So don't let nobody tell you about the internal work you're doing, okay? You'll know if you're doing internal work, all right? Those people are going to start picking up speed. That's why I'm saying anybody who left you, dusted you, tried to destroy you, and they come back, they're not finding you where they left you. And what's fucked up is some of these idiots are literally going to go back to where they left you thinking you're still there. So this is karma playing out, everybody learning their lessons, everybody getting both sides of the spectrum so that there's better understanding, right? Because this is really what it's about. It's getting these life lessons. That's what karma is about. You know, if Saturn's, you know, granddaddy, karma's his woman. For those that are new, I do smoke pot. It's not the nature of this, okay? So feel free to smoke with me. If not, don't worry about it, all right? All right. For some of you, for a very small group of you, in a few years from now, you're going to find out that somebody came to find you. And they didn't find you because you were gone. And you find that out years later. You bump into somebody's like, yo, I went and came and looked for you, or I called that number and you had changed the number already. Or they had rolled up at your address, but you don't live there no more. There's somebody who's coming back to look for you, but it's too late, you're gone. And I mean gone in the sense of like, yeah, you call that number, the phone's gone. You show up to that person's house and somebody else lives there. It's like, oh, wow. That is a reality check for that person. Okay? I don't know why I felt to say that. Wow. The Knight of Pentacles and the King of Swords upright. Somebody making a decision, okay, to go back and find that missing pentacle. Somebody was on their way to the 10 of Pentacles and realized they were missing something and going back to get it and finding it. Some of you, this is a decision to offer this pentacle to someone to get the 10. For some of you, this is making a decision to invest in a personal venture of some kind. This is also the willingness to invest in your own independence. For some of you, this is investing a decent sum of money in like an extracurricular activity. So for example, if you decided you wanted to take on a sport, this is investing the money to actually do it properly. So maybe you're saying, I'm going to invest $1,000 or $2,000 for this year. I'm paying it up front. This is all for me. This is an investment for me. Some of you are deciding to invest in something specifically for yourself. It could be a trip, but I'm more getting like an activity, a sport, a passion project. Some of you are going to invest in equipment. Some of you are going to invest in a little studio so that you can truly do your art. Some of you are going to move, invest in a new place so that it better facilitates, maybe you live in a 1-bedroom and you want a 2-bedroom because you want to create a studio or a little home business out of one, something like that, a little office. Like it's investing in that, right? Independently. But if we're including other people, talking 10 of Pentacles here, which is one up from this, somebody's coming back realizing they need somebody else to help them with this. Or Taurus, you're moving towards somebody, seeing the value in somebody and saying, yes, that's the person who I can see myself getting to the 10 of Pentacles with, whether career, personal, whatever. Really, really nice. The Fool, the Hangman. The Hangman is underneath the Fool. So you've got the Hangman twice, which is your energy. So I'm gathering, Taurus, that you are going to need to take the leap of faith. Whether somebody's coming towards you or you're moving towards somebody, you are going to have to, you can't stay in this state for long. Okay, there is a sense of you needing, and it's your own internal pressure to move forward. I believe, Taurus, a lot of you have been in this stagnation. I think you have been in this hangman mode where you have been absorbing your surroundings, being cognizant about how you can utilize your surroundings. It's that exterior perspective. This is also getting a better exterior perspective about foundation. Some of you were looking at the way people were building their families. So maybe your age or your social group, people were just starting to have kids and make families and just getting to that point. And you didn't like how they were doing it. You pulled back and gained, and it's not that you were talking shit about them. It's like, it's just different. The way you envisioned it was different, is different. And it's like you pulled back to see this differently. Now, it's funny though, it's like, okay, you wanted to do it differently. How do you do it differently? How do you make your foundation a true reflection of your morals, values, and how you see something being built? It's like building a house from the ground up. You don't just tell the contractors, build the house from the ground up. Then you might as well just go and get a built house. You have full control over this project, this process, this foundation being laid. There is, though, a sense of needing to take a leap of faith, and I quite frankly think it's about bringing other people in. Taurus, for some of you, it's taking a leap of faith to admit that you did not see the value in someone, and that's the exact person you know is going to get you to the 10. This could have been rejecting working with somebody. Somebody offered their specialties or offered to work with you, and you shut them down, only for you to get where you're going, and you can't stop thinking of that person because it was them that would have been able to help you. So now you have to do the walk of shame or the tucking your tail, and it's fine, we all do, to go back to this person, acknowledge their value, and then ask them if they would be willing to, again, do this. And then your ego has to allow them to potentially reject, ignore you, take time to figure that out, decide yay or nay. It's just, I don't know what this is about. But let's 5 of Swords, Judgment. Yeah, there's the Chariot. You guys stomp something out. You guys, this could be other people. Somebody passed you thinking they were better than you. Simple, point blank. This fool passed you, made you think they were better than you. Only for them to look back and see you on a whole fucking chariot. They realize whatever it was they were trying to win, there was no win here. The win is here. You had the vision to win, Taurus. Your moral compass included everyone's winning, not just the selfish win of your own at the expense of other people. A real leader wins and everyone eats. These kind of fools, they win and they eat alone, and they eat shit, garbage. They ain't eating no real sin. They're laughing alone. Okay, look at this fool. He has more. You stole all these swords, but what can you do with them? Because if people roll up on this fool right now, he's going to have to drop all of them and pick up his sword of truth and do something with it. Stole all of this for no reason. No reason. One of these, I have a sneaking suspicion, Taurus, you're one of these people, and one of these people ended up here. Good job. Angel gang. Karma, thank you, Granddaddy Saturn. Father God, ancestors, Holy Spirit, guardian angels. Only warning, this will stomp out things. So if this is you, Taurus, don't make the same mistake that this fool made. You have to understand why people do shit like this, or you're going to have to learn this lesson as to why. Meaning now you're in your chariot. Mind you don't stomp nobody and hurt nobody and end up somewhere where you have to go back and do the same walk of shame, yeah? Let's pull from the romance quick. Thank you, Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, and guardian angels. Thank you, Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, and guardian angels. Please clarify this spread. Yep, it was a soulmate. Some of you Tauruses have somebody plowing back to you because they realized you were a soulmate. All right, because now you're glowing, and it's the same. It's the cliched story, but that story is cliched because that's how shit goes. Okay. Some of you might have realized that you breezed past a soulmate because you were focusing on your abundance and your independence, and you didn't realize that there was somebody who valued your abundance and independence and wasn't trying to take it from you. They were trying to build on it with you. And then you realize that you get to a point where you can't really build anything more than here without the help of soul family kin and your person. So it's like your values and morals change, and you go back to make sure you reclaim everything of value from the old timeline before you embark in the new one. Right? And then at the bottom, pay attention to the red flags. The red flags, man. Quite frankly, I think this is too late. I think you're reflecting on the signs that were cautioning you that this was true, that this was near and dear, or could have been. You ignored the red flags. Some of you were the red flags. Some of you curbed red flags. I don't know. But anyway, let's wrap up with the Shaman Oracle. Guys, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on the reading. You know, this was kind of specific in the sense of like certain people, but the energies of just not breezing past things and being really cognizant of what your journey, what the journey from point A to B is, and all the things you can acquire on the journey so that you're best equipped when you get to your fucking destination, man. Enough people just breeze through, get to their destination, and then they're unequipped and can barely survive, barely withstand it, barely hold it. That's why you see a bunch of people who get rich and can't keep their wealth because they didn't gain all the fucking knowledge on the way there that required somebody to actually build it, keep it, have actual knowledge about what abundance is and not just how to spend it, how to compound it, invest it, right? Really valuing abundance. People don't know about them thing there, but they learn. You know, there's a lot of people who are born into money that lose everything, and that was a lesson. All right, sorry. It doesn't really matter that they're in reverse because it's not like tarot, but it's bothering me. My OCD flared up a little bit. Okay. All right. Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, can we please wrap up this beautiful reading for my beautiful Tauruses for the month of October? Shaman of Loss. I'm telling you guys, you know, everybody wants to move forward, but at the cost of what? Right. Shaman of Loss. Okay. I am the shaman of loss. I can interpret lost ideas, traditions, beliefs, and meanings, values you once cherished but have since forgotten. I help you to understand what losing something means and teach you the paradox that loss is gain. I help those who are lost to find themselves and those who have lost the path to rediscover it. No matter what you feel is missing from your life, I can help you to replace that loss with fresh hope. The universe cannot survive without balance, and all things have their opposites. Thus, joy must have sorrow, good must have evil, beauty must have ugliness, and gain must have loss. The shaman of loss helps us to understand why some things must pass away, why we sometimes lose our path, and why at times all sources of nourishment may seem to dry up. Not all loss is bad. Sometimes we lose things that do us harm. The shaman in this image walks beside us through the labyrinth of time and helps us to rediscover things we believed lost to us forever. Interpretation, rediscovering of forgotten truths, loss and gain, restoration, balance, coming to terms with loss, endurance, acknowledging who we are, allowing things to pass onwards. Like, guys, I don't know, like that card really summed up this whole fucking reading. So it was specific, but it definitely was a message for at least a small handful of you. So please let me know if this resonates. Like, share, subscribe. Hopefully I'll catch you guys on the mid-month lives that I've been doing. They're not scheduled, they're random. So if you catch me, you catch me. If not, it's cool. But otherwise, until the next time I see you, please continue to let your inner angels live. Ciao.